Remember last episode we were talking about secret fetishes? She just outed herself.
No. I'm open to most things, but not that.
Oh my God! Is this somebody boo booed on the floor?
Hey community, here's what's brewing today.
Your favorite fry.
White Castles make me boo boo.
And Ask Yo Aunteas. It do. It do, though. And Ask Yo Aunteas, alt husband. So get your cups ready for Minority Report.
I was like, what you mean?
It do. It do. Hey, welcome to Minority Report. It's Auntie Carell.
It's Auntie Duan.
And it's Auntie Jarrell.
I just put that lip balm on. I'm glossy.
It's popping.
The gloss is popping. The gloss is cool. And actually, you know what? Shout out to Marco. Hey, Marco, this is your product, boo.
Yes.
Marco over at Power Relationship. He gave me this when we were in New York last time. I was like, thank you, boo. So I like it, but then just on camera, it was a little too glossy. So, how y'all doing tonight?
Good.
All right.
Good.
I ain't gonna lie, a little tired, but you know, I'm here with my sisters. Because we are cheetah sisters.
Come on, girls. Oh, man. And it's weird, like, the time this episode comes out, March is damn near over. Like,
look,
Q1 over.
girl, our anniversary is like in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Community anniversary, sixth anniversary is coming up, so we'll have some details up there exactly what we're gonna do for it. It might be every year people be like, when we're gonna do it live, and we kind of limit it down to the anniversary at this point. But maybe that's what we'll do. But actually, at some point this year, we keep saying it every year, and we haven't done it. But we're gonna try to do something in person somewhere. Yes. There's rumblings behind the scenes that we're just trying to figure out where and when and how, et cetera, et cetera. But we'll try to figure something out. But yeah, 6th anniversary's coming up. Yeah,
that's crazy. It is so.
Love to think.
I'm not even go down that rabbit hole because I know day of I'm gonna be emotional, so I'm gonna just as I already do not do emotions, I'm gonna save it to that day
for that moment,
right?
But yeah, that's cool. But community, we kind of gave you the heads up that there's gonna be several weeks of kind of just like evergreen content. This is another one. We'll be back with a brand new episode fully. All of these have been brand new, but like a full normal, I guess, quote unquote episode next week. Yes. But you know, Dewan and I down there getting our Brazilian tan on with the Brazilian menses and stuff like that. So we'll be back. We'll be back. But in the meantime. In the between time, I had this thing that I saw this pop up on social, and I'm curious how in alignment we will or won't be on this. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. And community, if you listening to this, we'll try to describe it as best we can. But if not, you might want to go on YouTube and see this and join the debate here. So,
oh boy.
What kind of fry are you? And give me maybe your top 3.
Okay, so let's
even though onion rings ain't really a fry.
So we'll describe it real quick. So 1 is shoestring, 2 is curly fry, 3 is tater tot, 4 is a waffle fry, 5 is a sweet potato, 6 is the zigzag fry, 7 are wedges, and 8 are onion rings, which I agree. That ain't a fry. It's an onion ring. But you know, depending on where you go, depending on where
family.
you exactly, it's Ken. That's a play cousin. It's a play cousin.
Right. And I saw this pop up, and like it was like people were like very adamant about which ones were garbage, which ones weren't. Like the comments were just flooding. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, let's see here. And maybe we guess. Let's guess each other's maybe.
Wait,
So,
so
like,
when you say what fry, you're saying what fry it is that you most identify
prefer.
with, or you like to eat?
You like to eat. You like
to
that's
eat.
that's
Okay,
my
gotcha.
top of fry right
Then
there.
I
don't
already
want
know
none of
this. Yep, I already know this.
Jarrell, what do you think for Dewan? I think he's
for
probably.
Dewan?
I think he's a shoestring.
You think he's a shoestring?
Mm-hmm.
I think a zigzag.
Nope.
Oh,
Which one are you?
Both
doing?
of them.
Which one do you like?
are you a sweet
Tater-
potato fry?
I'm a
tater
tater
tot.
tot. Tater tot, 100%.
Okay.
Okay.
1,000%. I like crunch, and with all them other ones, it could be if you got to catch them on the right day at the right place at the right time. But I ain't never been to a place that done jacked up some tater tots.
It's hard to go wrong with a tater tot. You're right.
But I've also had some
that's
tater tots
me.
that didn't have the crunch. I've also had tater tots where
They're
they don't
mushy.
have
I
that
haven't.
crisp. Yeah.
I haven't. I would say
Yeah.
that is far and few between.
Okay.
Tater tots remind me of Chicago. Like I feel like Chicago.
It's the tater tots in the Midwest.
It might be because every bar, every restaurant got a damn tater tot, and it's hard
'cause
to
you
find
know-
them like in Philly.
Well, in the Midwest,
They
they
don't
do the
have-
tater tot hot dish. The tater tot hot dish. So, like,
Yeah.
tater tots are like the Midwest, like go to.
Right.
Yeah.
I love me a tater tot, and
Okay.
I
What's-
don't even have to have anything with it.
What's your second and your third?
Second, probably would be wedges.
Okay.
And then it is. And then my third. I don't really like all of it.
Okay.
I like wedges because usually those are like, instead of like fried, they're oftentimes baked, or they
Baked.
could be fried, but like they're baked, but they're also just
Yeah.
delicious. And then when it's like eating a baked potato, but it's not
Yeah, I
like
was gonna say
a
it's
French
like a little
fry.
more meat.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
for my expectation for what I'm going to taste is going to be different.
It's got a little curve to it. Yeah.
It's a little more
Yeah,
meaty.
it's a little meaty. Got a little
say-
heft to it.
I would say my third would probably be the zigzag.
Really?
Okay, yes, I got one of the top three. Woo. Okay.
There you go. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Dewan, what we thinking for Jarrell? What's his top? I'm gonna throw a waffle in there for some reason.
I'm feeling the curly fry.
Interesting. Okay.
What's your answer, Jarrell?
Well, y'all bitches know me because that's my 1 and 2. Number 1's the waffle fry. Number 2 is the curly fry. That's literally my 1 and 2. That's literally my 1 and 2. And the
Low-key, that's crazy.
Sweet potatoes my 3. So
That's crazy. And honestly, like, I don't think I've ever seen you eat a waffle fry or
don't
a
think I
curly
have
fry,
either,
but for
but-
some reason, like, curly fry was just sticking out to me as something I think that you would like.
because it's,
know,
it's
back-
intricate,
yeah.
just like me. You know, has a little edge to it a little
Lord.
bit.
Pizzazz.
You know?
It has
A little-
pizzazz.
Pizzazz.
Right. Okay, I gotta think. I gotta look and see. What's my top? What's my top?
Okay, Dewan, while he
three?
think, but what do you think he will end up on?
I feel like it would be. I'm leaning more towards like a shoestring or a sweet potato. I'm gonna say shoestring.
And I'm going with sweet potato. Those were the two that I was going with as well too.
I would say a sweet potato, actually.
Okay.
Sweet potato is probably my number one, but it's got to be right. Like some of them get too mushy, so I still want it to
Yes.
have a little crunch,
Little
but
snap,
then
a
still
little-
maybe
yeah.
a little snap, but then still maybe in the middle part it would be a little softer. So not everyone makes a good sweet potato fry. But when you get a good one, baby, that should be so good.
wrap.
Oh, because it's the salty and the sweet. Like it's a little more umami than just the rest of the fries for me. So I like that.
I also feel like
then-
the other fries, like the other fry options, are a little bit too like, you got to touch them, you got to feel them, they got grease on them, kind of a thing, and you're not into that stuff. So I'm like, which one of these have the least amount of interaction
Right.
with? You could just eat them without having
That
to have
part.
them on your fingertips.
Yeah,
But I also
the number
think he
two
would
is
go
probably a
with the
tie.
wedge. A tot?
Yeah, no.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
a tot. I like a tot, and that might just be the Midwest thing. Like, it's okay. But I
And then
mean,
what's your number 3? What's your
my
third?
number 3. See, then it gets to like particulars, like certain either restaurants and locales.
Okay.
Because like a shoestring, I would say almost like a McDonald's is like a shoestring. So I mean, McDonald's fries are delicious. Low key, what's Steak and Shake? Steak and Shake, yeah, not like Shake Shack. The old like Steak and Shake.
Steak and Shake.
They had like those little skinny fries. Those were always good.
Yeah.
I used to like the waffle fries at the place I don't go to no more, Chick-fil-A. They waffle fries were delicious, but I don't care for a waffle fry pretty much anywhere else. A wedge, throw zigzags in the trash, low key. You can throw them in the trash. I don't like them. And I'm not the biggest onion ring fan either. So
Oh, yeah.
You know
I'm not
what's
an onion ring
wild?
fan. I do zigzag fries only for when I do chili cheese fries. That's the only time I will have a
low-key, you right on
zigzag
that.
is if I'm doing chili cheese fries. I don't want none of these other fries for a
You're
chili
right.
cheese fry. Maybe a waffle
100%.
fry because you can pick the waffle up like almost
Yeah.
like a chip, right?
yeah,
But other than that, it's
it's a
zigzag.
zigzag.
If I'm doing,
See,
if I'm
You're
doing
absolutely
cheese
right
fries.
on that.
And honestly, I'm not into like, I'm like a purist. I just want the French fry, and maybe with some ketchup, and that's it. But if it's hot and it's crunchy, I don't even need the ketchup. Just,
Is you good?
Baby.
but low key, like on the onion rings, I don't mind doing an onion ring from time to time. It is a rare instance, but I like it for just the outside. Like I'll open it up, pull out the onion, and I'll eat the rest. I don't like the
You
onion
want
part.
some fried you want some fried bread, bitch. That's what you eat.
That's all. That's all you're eating anyway.
I just want the batter.
That's where all. Listen, it has that onion flavor,
Yeah.
but the onion just I don't know. It reminds me of like a tapeworm, because it's always like soft and like just. Sorry, I didn't mean to ruin it.
Every
for all
once
y'all
in a while,
listening,
you'll get a
but-
good onion ring because, like, I feel like it's the ratio. Because, like, I don't like too much batter, and then I don't want the onion to be too slimy. So I feel like that's just another thing that is very rare that people make a good onion ring.
Yes.
When
Yes.
you get a good one, you're like, "Oh, this is motherfucking
Yeah.
delicious." But it's hard to me to get a good one.
And it's a gamble. It's a gamble.
The last time I had
It
a
is.
onion ring was at White Castle's, and that was years ago.
damn.
I've never had White Castle in my life.
I ain't been to White Castle probably since that White Castle that's up in Chicago, up in Andersonville.
Baby, well, let me tell you, if you want to eat something that's temporary good and they be a shit show afterwards,
that
Literally.
yeah, literally
Blood.
clean that
Blood.
colon out.
girl.
Honey, we had an incident that, as a family, that totally scarred us for life against White Castle. I was probably 8 years old at the time. My brother was 10. My sister was 5. My mom and one of her guy friends, just a guy friend or whatever, we all went to
Was it a
Niagara Falls.
FWB? Was it FWB?
No.
Was Mama was like, "Hey, I just need a little side thing here and there."
Look, I was young back then, so I don't know what they do behind the closed doors. But all
That
I'm
was her
saying
friend.
is, we went to Niagara Falls, and then on the way back, we drove, and this is back in the day, and we're driving back, and we had to go through the border because we went to the
Yeah.
Canadian side, and before we went to the border, and there was a long line, and we was in the middle of the night. We drove from Cleveland, Ohio, all the way out there, and it was the middle of the night, probably 2 a.m., and there was a super, super long line. So my mom's friend was like, "Hey, why don't we stop and get something to eat? There's a place down there called White Castle that's really good." And we were like, "Oh, we don't want that stuff." We didn't really eat like
Yeah.
fast food,
Trash food.
Like,
You say it.
so our little bougie little toddler selves like, no, we'll pass. So he got some sliders and started eating them and blew up the car while we're just sitting there waiting to get through the border. So much so that my mom had to put him out of the car. So anytime after that, we heard of White Castle, like, no,
PTSD.
no. So I never, ever, 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 ever had White Castle in my life,
My
Post-traumatic
first
stress
apartment-
diarrhea.
girl. And it wasn't just somebody who had IBS. it was the stuff that he ate, as evidenced by every conversation you have with anybody that's ever had White Castle.
Baby, when I tell you, my first solo apartment in Minneapolis was White Castle was across the street. And it was one of the few places that was open post 2:00 in the morning after the bar. So on my way home, a night of drinking, and we at like the Eagle, so we didn't do 3-for-1s. Ooh. And baby, you need something to eat.
Stick to them stomach walls,
girl. You go to sleep, wake up. And you didn't know if you felt like boo-boo because you had to boo-boo or you felt like boo-boo because you were toe off from the 3-for-1s. But the way you just didn't know where it came from, how to fix it. Girl. Yeah.
Because there's like, ooh, I got to poop. Ooh, I got to take a shit. And then I got to boo-boo. And that's like that. That's like...
I don't know what it is.
And it's the boo boo that you don't know if you done boo booing. So you gonna stop, but you get as soon as you get off the toilet, you're like, I think I should go.
That's the kind of boo boo that make your whole butt cheek sweat.
Like, I just gotta hop in the shower.
Like, you be sliding around second time around. You're like, I need to like air this thing off.
It's levels to this shit, literally. That's so true. That is so.
Which
true.
has the worst bodily reactions? Taco Bell or White Castle?
White Castle.
Yeah, I definitely go White Castle.
Because I think your body just
they call it sliders for a reason. They call it sliders for a reason, baby. Slide to the left,
baby. It's true. It's true. And I think our bodies have just built up a tolerance for Taco Bell. Like, it still might make your stomach rumble a little bit, but like, I think we eat Taco Bell more regularly than White Castle. So when you get that White Castle, that body's like, hey, baby, this ain't it. Your body rejects that shit literally.
Baby, talk about the bubble guts, bitch.
Ooh. It's the worst. Ooh,
I
this
never
makes my
want to
stomach hurt
experience
thinking
that.
about it.
When was the last time you had White Castle?
But I'm so toxic, though. I want to get fucked up to the point where I do want to eat White Castle. That's how toxic I am.
No.
When was the last time you had White Castle? Was it within the
2 years ago?
Within a year? Okay.
Probably like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I haven't had. It's probably been a decade, if not longer.
Yeah, okay.
It's been at least. I don't think I've had it since I've left Chicago. I think that's the last time because there's the White Castle up in Andersonville, and Corey used to live down the street from there. And I feel like we went one time, and he picked up some sliders, and that's the last time I could recall. So that's got to be probably a good 12 years, at least.
Yeah. Like my 3 best friends, they all, and back in Minneapolis, they all live like a 2-block radius from the same White Castle. So when I go to stay at their house, like post-bar, it's a thing, and I go just one time. Wow. But it's been a couple years though.
That conversation made me think though. Like, shout out to Brandon. Hey, what's up, B? One time we were in Fort Lauderdale, and I saw a not Rallies, Checkers. So the same company, but
I love me some Checkers.
And I was like, dang, I ain't been to Checkers in a minute. It's like me, Brandon, and what up, Eric? Eric was in the car too, Reisner. And I was like, Brandon, when's the last time you went to Checkers? I ain't been there so long. He go, today. That shit took me out so hard. Me and Eric and Brandon laughed at that so long. Because I thought he was going to be like, like maybe like 2 years ago, 5 years ago. That Negro said today. And I was like, we've been hanging up. Like, we've been hanging out all day. Where'd you go? That took me out. But anyway. Community. So let us know what's your fry preference, and when's the last time you've been to White Castle? And then does it make you boo boo? Like boo boo?
Everybody I didn't ever talk to, they've even heard of White Castle that has ever been like. They say the same thing.
It does. Yeah. I don't know what it is. It is worse than Crystal. I feel like because Crystal's the same kind of concept. Crystal make you boo boo, but like White Castle make you boo boo. So no man. But anyway. Community, we haven't, actually we did a couple of Ask Yo Aunteas maybe last week, 2 weeks ago. But look at this, another Ask Yo Aunteas hot off the presses here. So, ladies, what time is it? Ooh.
Ask Your
Auntie.
Yes. And we stole this from By Latin Men. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Anthony. And I guess that Kevin is on reprieve, I guess, from the By Latin Men. So it's Anthony right now, and I don't know who else.
Anthony and them.
Someone new yet. Right, and them, exactly. But they posted something on their social a few weeks ago, and it said, if you got an alt, you're not husband material. And that got me thinking. I was like, okay, we talk about alt all the time on here. So are we not husband material? I'm a husband. So well, how do y'all feel about alts and alt Twitters and alt accounts? And if you don't know your significant has an alt, like, do you feel a kind of way? Does that make that person not a husband? What's your thoughts on this?
I'm gonna say maybe there's a different expression or understanding of what alt is, because my interpretation of an alt is I got an account that has my friends, my family, blah, 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 and they can see all the stuff that I'm connected with and see all the things that I'm following, da, 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 da. So I don't want them to be seeing all the nasties.
Right.
So the alt that we be talking about on this podcast is really just,
porn.
For that. Yeah. My niece
corn, I guess.
my niece
I didn't put this on the internet.
So
Right. I got you. Corn. We eating corn. We watching corn. Watch the corn now. Make sure it don't burn.
So I don't really understand. So if that's the same context, I don't really understand the equivalency, because I take that back. Because if alt is for you to post your stuff, because that I think is a different thing. If you're posting stuff, that might be a little bit different than just having, kind of like an incognito account, to lurk and find.
Here, I'm gonna read the caption that they put with it. It says, if you were seeing, because it came from a tweet that someone put out there, so they posted the tweet. Then the caption says, if you were seeing, talking to, dating, hooking up with, in a relationship with someone and find out they have an alt Twitter, would this change how you felt about them? Is the relationship over?
See, so I also feel like, just real quick, there's an adjacency to like slut shaming, right? Like there's a difference between being sex positive. So what would the difference of having that alt versus having an OnlyFans?
No, I think it just boils down to the intention of the alt. Like, I think that's the point that they're getting to. Like, if the alt is something where you're doing sneaky ass shit, then yes. But if you have an alt account, most of the time you have an alt for an alt, like an alt personality. Like, this is your stage person. This is who you are in this area. But Jarrell, who y'all know, is this person, right? So, like, if you are, like in porn, there's your stage name and there's who you are as a person. And so that alt could be part of their business and who they are as a sex worker, right? So that's different than having an alt where you are out there doing things and keeping it a secret from others. Two different things. So if you get an alt and that's just you putting yourself out there, and you're putting yourself there just because that's what you do and that's what you want to do, then go for it. But if you're doing it with the intention of deceiving and lying and hiding, that's something completely different. So,
and I think that's weird to kind
understand.
of put that as the initial thght, because that's what it seems like they're going, is like more the negative part of that, of the sneaking and things like that, than like, no, I just don't want everybody in my business.
Because let me be honest. Like, if I was in porn, I know that I would definitely separate my work from who I am. So if you see me in the streets, you not calling me by that person. I'm not answering you to as my alt person. I'm not introducing me to you as my stage name or whoever I am in that realm. You talking to Jarrell. So of course, when you are dating Jarrell, that's who I'm going to talk to you as. I'm not going to talk to you as who I am for work, because that's my work. That's my job. And so I'm not bringing my job into my conversation of my love life, because that's my bill. So you ain't got shit to do with my bills. I'm gonna have them bills with or without you. So me having to disclose having an alt ain't got nothing to do with it. Now, if we're in a relationship, I think some people can't handle that, right? But that's a conversation about being with a sex worker, which is a completely different conversation. And in that case, I feel like I would have to, because not everyone can handle someone who is out there like that.
Yeah,
and that goes to what Dewan said, a little bit of slut shaming.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, like, it's interesting. Like, I don't care. I really don't. There's so many bigger fish to fry than that I'm not going to date someone, or I'm not going to think they're husband material because they have an alt Twitter. Are you kidding me? There's people getting beat up by their significant other. There's people getting there's a lot of craziness out there, and that's what you want to dismiss someone that could be literally your soulmate over.
Can I tell you?
Figure that out in yourself. That what's triggering you for that. Then, it might just be you have some insecurities. It might be you don't have some trust issues and things like that. Work on that for yourself, because that sounds way deeper than just an alt Twitter.
Can I tell you what's not husband material? Somebody who thinks that this disqualifies somebody from being husband material.
Oh, damn.
That to me is a worse offense than what they're saying, because to me,
don't be sitting here fighting all day over some shit like that.
This sounds like something somebody says who's perpetually single, doesn't it?
We are living
single.
Be the same person that be complaining that there ain't no good man out there and da da da. But you are walking red flag because you hung up on in my opinion, the smallest, most minute, inconsequential things that would equate to what a real substantial relationship should be. If you're focusing on somebody's alt Twitter, you gonna be single for a long time.
It's I almost assumed that everybody got an alt.
Look.
Right. That's like saying if you got eyeballs, you're not husband material.
Baby. And yes, I get that. Yes, if they're doing it for the intent of being sneaky, then that's one thing. But honestly, they could be sneaky on the non-alt, quite frankly. So they don't need an alt to be sneaky. So I think you need to figure that out in other aspects of life than come to the terms of that they're not husband material. But solely because of an alt Twitter, it's weird to me.
And I think also the notion of husband material, though, that's another conversation. Because let me tell you, Corey, your husband, but Corey couldn't be my husband, right? The idea of what a husband, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We both be dead.
Baby, y'all would be. That's true, because y'all got similar energies.
Look, baby, the way that's a Ryan Murphy Netflix special way.
Baby,
okay,
so is.
Look, made
I know,
for TV.
after that Glam Awards,
after that
Glam Awards, Corey's I always forget that me and Dewan are pretty similar. I was like, yeah, they got some similarities there.
But what I was saying is though, the type of husband I would want might not be the type of husband someone else wants.
Right.
And so I think you got to be careful with saying husband material, because some of these people out here ain't got no standards. And what you might think is husband material is trash. And we've seen plenty of people who be in these relationships and, shit goes sideways, or some people got a certain amount of babies, but then also baby daddies got babies by other people, and their babies are the same goddamn age. But you said that with husband material. So, all I'm saying out here is you got to be careful when you say the words husband material. Say someone that I'm interested in. I could not be with someone like this. Right. Say that, but don't say husband material, because that ain't it.
Yeah. And I will say, if that is a boundary for you, okay, that you found your boundary, but dissect why, right, for you, but also dissect why that's a boundary, because to me that there's some underlying trust issues and insecurities that just need to be dissected, and maybe you've done the work, and that's where you just say, you know what, it's always going to trigger me, this is why it triggers me. Okay, you found your boundary, but to generally just say ain't husband material because they got all Twitter is very blanketed,
and then go buy a few cats because you're gonna be lonely.
Absolutely. I was just sitting here thinking, like, what is this person's vetting process? Because this would be so low on the totem pole for me.
Same.
To even be interested in it. So I'm just like, okay, and husband material, if you really think about it, that's like, okay, we've been dating for a long time. We have a certain understanding of commitment and what we like and what we don't like. I'm getting to know you. I'm getting to know your family. We're getting ingratiated into our lives and our circles and whatever. That leads to, I'm going to propose to you. You're going to propose to me, and we're going to build a life with one another. There's traditionally is a lot of time in between, we hooking up, we're dating, to we're engaged, and now we're married, we're husbands. So at what point does this come up in the conversation? Because typically, as part of the dating process, not hooking up, but like the dating process, you're having conversations around, I would assume, let me say, I'm having conversations around politics, like what you want out of life, what is, what
finances,
all of the important things, like, are you open to living somewhere else? Are you stuck to this particular area? How close are you with your families? Tell me a little bit about what what's important to you in a relationship.
Like all those things.
That's a real question I would ask. That's a real ass question.
Not husband material.
Not husband material.
I need that on a t-shirt. I listen to Beyonce on shuffle, and on the back, not husband material.
Oh my God, 1,000%. Lubuticus 1717.
I hate you for that. But low key, you ate. You just Kiki Palmer me, and I just La Roach.
So it
that. You ate that.
You ate that.
But I'll add one more thing though, Dewan, to what you were saying. Let me tell you, if they in porn, if they're all as in porn and they doing it correct, these motherfuckers making like $20,000 to $60,000 a motherfucking month. You want to talk about husband material, bitch? You ain't going without.
Do that for 2-3 years, and you are set for the rest of your life. They can be the the brokeback mountainous individual they want to for as long for all the amount of things that it broke into them when they were doing that.
Baby.
I'm trying to choose my words carefully.
Right. I just feel like, at least for me, the older I get, like some battles aren't just even worth trying to even battle for the sake of battling. And that's what this sounds like. It just sounds like you just want to battle for the sake of battling. Just want to find and nitpick just for the sake of nitpicking. Like, if you really want a successful relationship, and it's hard to do it, and I don't know what success even look like, but like, you just gotta pick and choose them battles. And is this one you really want to pick and choose when they are like good with your nieces and nephews, good with your family, like all this other stuff? They're not gonna be 100%, and the 1% is an alt Twitter, baby. The only thing I would say on Twitter is because it's Elon Musk. Maybe that's the red flag. I don't know.
Right. Go to Blue Sky.
But the alt, baby. That ain't my battle, but do you?
Damn. I just went to the post because I'm like, I want to see what the people are saying. They turned the comments off, but only kept the poll on. So there's responses. And
because people
so you don't see it in
out.
Damn.
It depends on what they do on the account is 49%.
Yeah.
So the options are, yes, it's clipped, 27%. No, I have one too. We all do, 24%. I'm in that boat. Mm-hmm. And then it depends on what they do on that account is 49%.
Yeah.
I just want to ask, baby, who hurt you? Who hurt you? What kind of question is
Where's the Yala at? What hole you need to scream it into?
That's what they're doing on their alt. That's what they're doing on their alt.
Hey, that's what we all doing on the balls. Looking at them holes and them dicks and everything. That's the reason for it. And honestly, I wouldn't even need an alt if like my mama didn't like follow me everywhere. That's the only one I really care.
Yeah.
And low
That's
key,
the only one.
And low key, if these social media platforms would get a little bit more savvy, I mean, hell, I'm sure they got a bunch of gays that are working for there. Like, you should be able to have a micro profile to be able to say, I want people to be able to see what I'm doing and who I'm following and da 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 da.
Like, you kind of got the close friends, but I need multiple close friends.
Right. Right.
You need the close friends, but then the friends that
There's
you
the
want to show
close friends. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. The ones, they might not be your close friends, but you want to show what you what you want to show. That's what we need. We need the multiple. We need at least 5 of them. Come on, IG. Come on, everybody. Blue Sky. But no, that's interesting. And again,
what are your thoughts on being randomly added to someone's close friends?
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, because I, like a few weeks ago, I saw a conversation about, that you should be asking to be
permission.
Added to, as consent, right?
it.
Like some people ain't trying to see some of the things that you post in, right?
But then they don't need to click on it either.
Because they know when the thing is
They see it's
Yeah,
green. They can
but-
be like, okay, I don't want to click on it because
No, but it's not necessarily that, because you can go to the story and you can just be nexting
Yeah.
the story and
That's
see a
true.
close
That is
friends,
true.
right?
Yep, that's
So it's
very
not
true.
necessarily about seeing the green circle and clicking it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was just curious. I mean, to me, I think I think it means that there's a some form of a bond of trust there when someone adds me to their close friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
1,000%.
And also, low key, I feel like, the age of Instagram where it's just, it has not kept up with the nuances of culture today in terms of the features that are offered. I'll be so glad when, Blue Sky, or mostly Blue Sky,
Whatever's
kind of takes
next.
takes the reins and really provide the features that you really want out of your social media platform in terms of the kind of experience that you have.
Yeah. Because I almost wish it was because I get why they have some of the things in this, because IG's super PG.
Yeah.
I get the reason why, but I feel like as a tech company, there's ways to make it the lane you need to make it, but there's always ways around for kids to get around it. So it's tough.
But even you have even if you're if you invite somebody as a collaborator, you should be able to invite somebody to be part of your close friends. You have to agree to be a collaborator on a thing. So you should be agree. It's not like this is Jarrell, and just piggybacking what you're talking about. This is not complicated. Of a feature to evolve. But again, I feel like Mark is over there, so busy, with his head up, a couple of people's
stealing land in
buttholes,
Hawaii.
That all the things that could be going into making the platform even more relevant to how people interact today, just going by the wayside. And thankfully, I'm glad, because I can't wait to hop off IG and find another solution that's just going to be a little bit more forward thinking and progressive.
I agree on that. Well, community, let us know. Is an alt Twitter or alt account anywhere not husband material? Let us know in the comments. We'll put a little clip up, and maybe we do another poll and compare it to Bi Latin Men. But that was a cool little question there. So continue to send your Ask Yo Aunteas to aya@minorityareport.com. Most of you DM us, but we also have the T line where you could share your question live, and we play it on the air. We keep you anonymous. And what's that T line name?
It is 844-832-5463.
Ooh. So yeah, I think that's about it. Anything else on your hearts and minds?
No, ma'am.
All right, and again, this is an
from the past,
LGBTQIA
I'm sending to future y'all. All right,
Yes.
a wonderful time in Brazil. I know right now when this comes out, it will be post then, but
Yes.
I hope y'all come back in one piece, and I hope everything gets satisfied on the trip.
Ooh, I hope so too.
Who do you think is going to have more thirst traps?
Oh, it's always
That's a
me.
setup. It's correct.
Right, it's always me.
Look,
It's always me. It don't mean that you don't have none. We just got to find when Dewan decides to put them out there.
all I know
And it
is
might
y'all
be
have
2
us-
years from now.
All I know is our group chat better be lit, okay?
I know
all
that's
right?
right.
Look, I need to live through you heifers. So look,
Yeah.
you see somebody, just look, send it right in here, be like, boop, boop, boop.
Baby, it's going to be a 24/7 cam then.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
Webcam, a
I'm
live
okay.
cam.
Look, I'm gonna be all right with that.
We got
Look.
50-11 parties we going to, so
That part, I know. I looked at that today like, whew, let me mentally prepare myself. But anyway, community, stay safe out there. This is an LGBTQIA plus podcast, so it's a safe space for our entire community. So hopefully you feel that. And until next week, wash your hands, your legs, and your ass. Bye.
bye, y'all.
Bye.
Hey, community. A lot of you have asked how you can support Minority Report outside of the sharing and downloading and subscribing and leaving reviews. But you can also buy merch. Come on, baby.
I know that's right. And we have a whole lot of options, from clothing to pillows to tumblers and bags. And we continue to update all of our stuff with new styles, new colors, and new products. Jarrell, where can they get all that stuff at?
Well, they can get all that and then some at minorityReport.com. They can find all the goodies, find out additional information about your aunties. And we also want to make sure that you share and tag us when you do buy merch, all right? So let us know if it's a hoodie, it's a tee, a long shirt, a towel, because we know you need those. But let us know.
Absolutely. And remember to wash your hands, your legs, and your ass.